Hi guys, it's Debbie with Debbie J's Crafting Corner. Today we are going to be using the Make It Merry Christmas kit from Spellbinders. You might remember that last year, and they probably do this every year, but last year was the first time I got it. They had another kind of Christmas card crafting kit. That one was called Santa Lane. This year it's called Make It Merry. And so let me go ahead and show you what's in this, and then we can make a couple of cards. So we've got a nice little ephemera pack. Got the little book, the little instruction thing that says all the things that are in there, including all of the contents. You can check that out. We've got a bunch of envelopes, and I did get an email saying something about some of the envelope sizes may have been wrong. I think it was supposed to be all A2, and I do have some A7. I believe that's what 5x7s are. So we've got those in here. So I think your kit is going to come with the smaller envelopes. Either way, you get to make cards, right? We've got some nice red bling. We've got some sequins. We've got some thickers here. These are like the chipboard pieces with the adhesive on the back. Bunch more here. Lovely, lovely sentiments. More sentiments. We've got a couple things of foam squares and some double-sided tape. More ephemera that's falling out, and more ephemera that's falling out. I think I need to put those in a separate baggie so I don't lose them. Then we've got some pretty papers, and we have a paper pack. This paper pack, let's see. I will clean up the ephemera in a minute. Ooh, we've got lots of different colors in here. So I'm going to move the box out of the way, and then we can take a look at the papers that come in this one. I already see my pretty silver. I love the silver mirror and the gold mirror cardstocks. They just look so pretty, and they really look a lot like metal. So I love that metallic look. Okay, so this does not say what colors are on there. Let me check this little booklet here. Just says that there are 14 sheets of cardstock, and the 6x6 paper pad that I just looked at is a 40 sheets, so that is cool too. The 40 sheets, 20 designs, and it includes foiled, so that's nice. I love foil. Okay, so we have some white, we have some black and brown and pink and a lighter pink, Christmas red, a burgundy, and a medium tone of the red. So that's 3 different colors of red. We have dark green, medium green, and a light green. And we have a light pretty blue, and then we've got, oh yes, they gave us 2 of the gold and 2 of the silver mirrors cardstock. And I know I'm blinding you because of the light reflecting on them, but I love these papers. So that is what is in the kit. In addition to that, they do have basically some add-ons. I'll go ahead and show you the ones that I have. First, we have the In the Pines embossing folder, which is a huge embossing folder, but the design, you may recognize it. I know I did when I pulled it out. So I already have this detail embossing folder. It's the small one called Forever Green, and it is pretty much the same design. Let me show you. So it's like right across the center there. Can see the same design, but this, because of so much bigger, you can do 2 A2 size card panels. You can do a humongous panel and cut it down to whatever size that you want to for your card. So that is very, very versatile. I think that is super cool. So we've got that, and then we also have some additional die sets. So I've got 2 die sets here. One is the Make It Merry sentiments, which are these 3 banners here. You've got Jingle All the Way, Make It Merry, and 'Tis the Season, and they all fit within that little banner. And this is one of those kind of letterpress types, which means you can probably foil it. Yeah, I probably will be doing that at least at some point. And then we've got a bunch of die cut pieces that are perfect for Christmas. Pine cone, holly, poinsettias. I think that is super lovely, and having additional ones that you could do all of those with just gives you a way to add something additional to your card. So I think what I want to start off with is just using that real pretty embossing folder. So I'm taking one of the pieces of green cardstock. This one is the darkest, and I cut it in half, and I'm going to just run that through my Platinum 6 to add some of that pine texture to that panel. And that looks fabulous. So first I'm going to be trimming down my panels down to 4 inches by 5 1/4. That way, actually, I'm going to first measure the cards that are in the... Okay, this may be what they were talking about. The smaller envelope, the smaller cards that I have anyway, are actually measuring at 4 inches by 5 1/2. So they're a little bit narrower than my typical A2 card size. So that means it's totally workable. Instead of doing my normal 4 inches that I cut it down, so I have that 1/8 of an inch all the way around, I'm going to cut this one down to 3 3/4 by 5. And that's still going to get, I'm sorry, by 5 1/4. And that's still going to give me that little bit of space all the way around. So that looks perfect. Also wanting to use those pretty gold sentiments. I'll be using one of these, and I'm taking out what I missed. I did not mention this at the beginning of the video. This is actually one of the add-ons as well. This one is the floral die cut shapes. So this is basically all the fun things that you're able to die cut with that die. So if I'm not mistaken, we should have pretty much all the different kind of things that you can cut out with this, and probably a little extra. So let's go ahead and open that one up. And this is where I kind of go crazy, guys. So you've got enough in the kit and with the add-ons to be able to make a ton of cards, and it's where the paper does all of the work for you. So we've got our nice pretty green background, and I think I want to have some red on there. And since this is on a clean sheet, you can kind of see where you want it. So I've got Merry and Christmas, so I could go with that kind of in the middle, go a big sentiment there. I think I'm going to start with that, and then I can add on all of my little bits. And if you're like me and you have more dies and stuff from like last year's Christmas, you're going to have everything you need to be able to add some additional sentiments if you run out of this. So I can go either have it as a card going this way, or I could go, I think I want to do horizontal. So I'm going to do Christmas down here. Let's make sure I line it up pretty decently. Okay, so we've got our Christmas. Okay, so we've got Merry Christmas across the front. And I think I'm going to use a couple of these other little bits. They've got some branches and some stars. And now I'm going to come back in and grab me some of the holly. And you're probably thinking, wait a minute, are you going to have that hanging off the edge? That is totally fine. You can either leave it hanging off the edge, and then it overlaps some of your white space on your card. And this one, I think I'm going to actually have it tucked under one of my stickers over here. So I'll lift up the sticker, which at this point I can still do. Okay, we've got that one right there. And then this one right about there. Okay, I think that is going to be perfect. So you can either leave it on there and then put it onto your card base, and then trim off the excess, and then you'll have that little bit hanging off. And I think that's actually what I'm going to do, because I kind of like that look. And you guys are shocked because I'm actually not putting any foam on this card. So there we go. And then I can take my scissors and just trim off the excess so that it doesn't have any trouble going in or out of the card, out of the envelope. So there we have that. So that was a quick and easy card, and everything was in our kit here. So for this next card, what I decided to do is pull out one of the bags of ephemera. So the first one we looked at was this one, which was all of these die cut shapes that are all florals. We got 2 packs of ephemera inside the card kit. One of them has a lot of tags and numbers, so I think this would probably be great for using to make an advent calendar. And then this one has got a lot of the little cutesy stuff that, oh yeah, okay. Okay, look at that. So darn adorable. I'm going to keep this card fairly simple. I'm using the other half of that panel that we just cut out, or just embossed and cut down. And I'm going to put some Scotch foam tape on the back of it. Give it a little bit of dimension, and not a ton. And then I'll use some of the ephemera to go on the front. And then I can just pop this on the front. It should give me about 1/8 of an inch all the way around if I put it in there straight. So that looks good. Then I'm taking one of the sentiments. This also has some nice size sentiments. I mean, this is nice and big. You could absolutely trim it down if you want, but I think this is actually pretty much perfect. And I'm going to pop that up on some foam as well. Because I'm doing 2 layers of foam, I am going to just stick to my Scotch foam tape, but you could absolutely use the foam that is in the kit itself. It's about double the thickness of the Scotch foam that I'm using today. And I'm not going too close to the edges with this because I'm going to also be able to tuck some ephemera underneath it if I leave some of that open. Okay, we're going to go kind of in the center there. I think I'll go a little bit high. This one I am going to use some of the foam squares. That's because this is going to pop up just a little bit above my sentiment. Okay, and then I'll add a little bit of my thinner foam up at the top. And one thing I'm noticing right now is these sequins are pretty flat, which is nice. Sometimes when it's a more of a bowl shape, it makes it a little bit harder to put down on your card. Okay, and that is going to finish up our second card. So I was going to leave it at just 2 cards, but you know what? I decided to go ahead and do a third one. This is one of the pattern papers that's in there. It's got all these real pretty scripty hot foiled. Probably hot foil. I don't know. It does feel like it's got a little bit of texture there, but these are just so pretty. Believe, shine, fa la la, jolly, all of those fun words. And I'm going to back it on some cardstock. Now I'm using one of the larger of the card bases that are in here. This is 5x7. Again, I don't know if you get that one in your kit. You probably do. And I'm going to have everything be matted at about 1/4 inch. So this is actually cut a little bit bigger than is actually necessary because my paper trimmer, you guys already saw it, my little paper trimmer isn't really big enough to be able to measure those long lengths. So I went ahead and just cut a little extra on. And now I'm going to put the pattern paper down onto this card, leaving about 1/4 inch around on 3 sides, and it's going to have a little bit extra on the bottom. And using liquid glue means that you have a little bit of wiggle room. Okay, so once I get that down, that looks pretty good. Going to go ahead and test it, and yes, it is a little bit long, so I'm going to trim a little bit more off of the bottom. That's going to be easier to do now. I did want to make sure I had enough space. And my thumb guard usually has a mark on there that looks like it's right about that 1/4 inch. So I'm just going to check it all the way around, see if everything looks about right. And I'm going to trim a little bit off the top and the bottom. I was thinking it was seeming a little bit too big. Okay, and now I can put that on there, and we have that border all the way around. Go ahead and do that with my liquid glue again. The hardest part with making a card with this kind of a kit, and Spellbinders is awesome with these, is just deciding which fun things to use on your card. Okay, just place it right down on there. So we've got that. And I actually have the words facing up. That's totally fine either way. I think what I'm going to use on the front of this one is this cute little car and one of the sentiments. And I'm going to pop it up on some of the foam squares. That is super cute. And this one says, Jingle All the Way. I think that is totally appropriate for this. I mean, it is pink. It is a different color, but I still think it is totally appropriate. So let's put a little strip of foam on the back of it. And this is actually a bit thinner than what my foam tape is. So I am gonna just trim it right down the middle. So now I've got 2 strips. And those will fit great right behind that sentiment strip. And I have a little extra, which means I have enough to go on to another sentiment. And then to finish it up, I'm going to add a few sequins. And that is going to finish up the third card. So that's going to finish up this card video for Spellbinders using that fun Christmas card kit. So here's our first card, real clean and simple. Actually, all of these were really easy to do. I mean, the papers and the embossing folder and the ephemera, they all did all the things for us. So we really didn't have to put forth a whole lot of effort on it. I think they turned out super cute. You guys have a wonderful day. Be sure to check out this playlist here to see more projects where I'm using Spellbinders products. You guys have a wonderful day, and I will talk to you soon. Bye, guys.